All right, everybody, this is going to be a little quick exercise on pre-composed layers inside of After Effects. Many of the animation effects that are in After Effects need to be applied to a pre-composed layer. And in this case, you'll see how that works. So what I've done is I've animated with a number of keyframes this satellite image across this planet. You'll notice that the animation path is highlighted and you can see where the keyframes are falling here. So in order for us to apply an echo effect, which will in essence repeat the image of the satellite as the satellite moves across the screen, it's going to leave a ghost of it. We need to take that animated layer and put it in a pre-composed layer. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put my playback head at the beginning of the animated satellite layer that you see here. And then I'm simply going to go to Layer, Pre-composed Layer, and very importantly, I could name it something other if I chose, but the important element here is to click on Move All Attributes into the new composition. And it's essentially going to move that animation feature with the path and our keyframes and hide it inside a pre-composed layer. I'm going to click OK. Now the reason I put it at the beginning was because now I can edit the pre-composed layer, much like a text layer or maybe an audio layer. It goes across the whole length of our newly made composition, and that really doesn't give us an accurate picture of where our clip begins and ends. So now that I've got my playback where I want, I'm holding down the Option key and I'm going to hit the open bracket to clip it where it should start. Now I'm simply going to drag the playback head into the timeline a bit to kind of have a satellite on screen. You can see now that when it's selected, that path is not visible. Now in order to get the effect, I'm simply going to go up to Effect, and then I'm going to go to Time, and I'm going to choose Echo. And the first thing you're going to see is that your project tab in the left-hand corner has been replaced by the effects control. And secondly, you'll notice it's gotten kind of bright in value. Well, let's take this a step at a time. So if I go from top to bottom with these terms you see in the effects tab, you'll see the first one is echo time. Now, minus means the repeated image of that satellite will follow behind the original picture. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that 0. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to change the number of echoes to maybe 5. And you'll see now, when I do so, the satellite has got repeated images that are trailing behind the original, which is right here. Now, it's still very bright, so I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to come down to the very bottom of the Effects tab, and instead of Add, I'm going to choose Composite in Front. And all that means is it's going to keep the original satellite in the front of this trail of copies. The next thing I'm going to do is I want them to dissipate away from the original, which is here in the front of our animation. So I'm going to go to the word decay, and I'm going to click with my left mouse. And again, it's a blue term or a blue number box, active box, so I can edit that by clicking and dragging to the left to reduce the opacity of the trailing images, or I could punch a number. So if I knew I wanted 65, I could do that. Now I put 65 on 0.65. Let's try that again. There we go. So now if I was to play that animation from its beginning, and I'll put my work area bar there like so, tap the space bar, and now that image is being followed by copies of itself. Right, kind of an interesting effect. Now, if I wanted to, I could go back, and I'm going to stop this. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back to our project tab, and let's put the distance, the echo time distance, let's make it 0.4. And you'll see now that they've separated out even more. So it really is something you want to play with, get in there and have some fun with it. I'm going to hit Command-S to save. Now, in addition to the Effects tab showing up on the left-hand corner, and of course my Project tab is still up here. If you don't see it, you simply need to kind of maneuver these windows a bit, and you see there's your original tab. Now if I was to go down to my timeline, and I hit E on the keyboard for Effects, it'll open up the Effects tab, and in there I can see where these operations take place, and I can find the keyframes that I might have added if I had done so.